So going into Berlin, we had a lot of expectations for this team. We were expecting them to be able to go in there and at least do some damage, not expecting them to win the whole thing by any chance, but unfortunately that wasn't what happened. And I mean, we all saw Jason's tweet. You know, it was something that it certainly signaled his dissatisfaction with the team, with their performances. And from the second that we all saw that tweet, we knew that changes were coming.
We definitely knew we'd be losing Rickeh for sure, as he had pretty much, you know, announced to the team that he was done. The second person to actually leave the team ended up being Hunter. You know, I think Hunter's a great player. I think he's gonna do things in his career, as he's still, I believe, only 21 years old. You know, he didn't necessarily get, I don't want to use the word a fair shake, but he didn't get as much time as I would have liked to have seen him get here. He was brought in kind of a broken roster, and he did exactly what we asked of him. And I think he's a great player, and he's gonna go on to great things. It's just, you know, unfortunate it's not gonna be here with us.
What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to finally be here, man.
I can't wait to see you. I've been waiting outside for you. Yeah?
You know, after the Berlin Major, I made it pretty clear with the infamous tweet that our expectations were not being met, and I wanted to reset the paradigm so the entire community knew what our expectations were and what our goals were and what we were willing to do to achieve those goals.
What's up, man? Good to see you. Welcome to Texas. Thank you, thank you.
We wanted a much more competitive squad. We wanted to bring in players that were at different parts of their career and hopefully up our available skill set.
Nice to see you. How's your flight?
That's pretty good, pretty good.
What's up, man? How's it going? I'm Josh.
I think we had 9 practice days before Pro League, if I'm not mistaken, and we practiced up to 12 hours a day. So we have been going kind of hard, and then outside of that, I'm also going home and reviewing our matches, our practice, and like correcting mistakes, so that we meet up the next day and have something more to talk about on those maps we already played.
We had long days of practice for like 9 days straight. We had 0 days off, and that was because the team wanted to play together, and we wanted to get as much practice as we could before the event. We've been gelling quite well, but I think we still need some time. We've had some good results in practice and bad results, but we don't really know what's going to happen.
I don't think anyone on this team has ever worked harder in any period of time in their careers than the period of time we put in, because we had to get 6 maps down in 1 week. And that's pretty insane.
And this is going to be an exciting match. It's kind of like a debut for Complexity to see what they've been able to do in the amount of time they have had to put together a roster. There's obviously been a ton of questions.
Dust 2 was our map pick. It was a good first half for us, and going forward after that, they kind of made a little comeback, but we ended up closing it out.
2 players ready and waiting. Flashbang goes over the top, he manages one, but Rush will close it out.
Second map, overpass, was their pick, and we kind of got destroyed on that. Like, they had a good T side, and they kind of countered us a bit, and we kind of didn't recover after that. We never really got into it.
Cloud9 come back in utterly dominant fashion in the second map.
We thought they were going to pick Nuke. We had the other 2 maps right. We did prep on Dust 2 and Mirage. Like, we didn't have any prep for them on overpass.
Another thing that's also really good to do is like slow default towards A, where you go out mid and you go, like you make B push and then go big. You make B push and then go underground after and just like kind of mid control. So like kind of scrim out A.
I was excited to see that we got both Rush and BlameF. He's been playing really good recently, and just even talking to him, I can see how motivated he is to make us a top team.
I haven't really experienced like a real IGL a lot. Most IGLs I've had are kind of people who like kind of just got repassed to it, you know? He seems like he really like is embracing the role, and he seems like it was really natural to him.
How on earth has BlameF got here? How has he got there? He's walked all the way through. This is just a big surprise, not only for us, but for his opposition as well.
In the Mirage, same thing. We had a good game, and they kind of came back a bit, but we closed it out in the end.
He's been around this angle. He's going to be coming through, but he can't close it out.
I definitely think we could have beat them. I think the best chance we had was probably on Dust 2, but even Mirage, the scoreline was so not close, it was 6 and 7, but we still had so many close rounds in it that like if we won one of those, we could have broke them. If we didn't get eco'd, also Dust 2, I think if we would have won a pistol or 2, we could have won that. but we lost both pistols and that really screwed us over. So I think pistols came down to Dust 2 for us.
Thrown in from behind, flashbang out, but Stan gets 2 important kills. This could be a done and dusted. In fact, Stanislaw will end it.
So our last match of EPL is versus EUnited. This match doesn't really matter that much. There's no repercussions for losing or winning this match because we're already through to the next stage. All that matters is if we get the seeding.
It's been a long 3 days with a long 9 days of practice before. Guys are kind of drained, so here we are at like 10:30 at night, down 0-1. Let's see if we can rally back, finish out strong here at ESL, get the 2-1 victory at 1 a.m. and catch a flight tomorrow to play an ECS match.
Freakazoid still yet to really enter the server too much. 2 taps for Dephh though. That is a disgusting way to start out this pistol round, and Rush is going to chime in alongside him.
I think our overall performance in EPL was really good, to be honest. It's always hard being a new team and having to get a lot of practice in and not that many days, like we only had 9 practice days before EPL.
Vanity will get the kill. He's taking control of Pit, but he's now all that stands in the way of complexity, and they're going to get themselves the victory.
We won 2 matches and we got 1 map off EG, so I think the performances and the results were fine, but I still think that we as a team was not quite happy with the amount of mistakes we made in game. I think it's a pretty good result to have like right off a new team start.
After the major, after the tweet, everything was kind of limbo. There was no like really official announcement of what our 5 looks like, so there's still tons of speculations about what the future of the roster holds. We've got these 2 players, I'm excited to play with them in practice, but I still don't feel like I'm on the team.
Right after we signed BlameF and Rush, I met with Shaz and Rory, and they obviously had questions about where the lineup was going. And I was just really honest with them that we're still very much looking around and wanted to see what this new mix might be capable of, I guess. But there was, zero promises going forward.
I only see one.
I'm playing Kobe.
This one's go where?
Split it.
Go Rush pre-firing the CT vents, and here come the CT, but they are winning the duels. Dephh with 16 HP. There's a vent play to be had with JT.
Oh,
What? What?
Did you just stab him in the back?
Oh, no.
I don't care about losing to ATK. It's not as much the result I'm unhappy about, it's more the Counter-Strike we present right now. We're not doing things very properly and like we're playing really bad as a team.
I could feel the entire team was trying to make it work, including Blame, including Rush. Everybody was fighting for Dephh and Shaz, and we didn't want to see necessarily the next step.
Through the smoke, the knife, no! Not like this. After the first map ended, could be due to a knife again, but it will end.
I think that sealed our fate at that point when we ended up losing in the qualifier to ATK. At that point, it kind of made up Jason's mind that he was ready to just move on. Yeah, it was a pretty bad feeling for everybody blowing that qualifier.
I think at that point, it was just apparent to everyone that this wasn't even going to work for another week.
And your name is?
My name's Rory Jackson. I'm the in-game leader for OpTic Gaming, and my in-game alias is Dephh.
We've always done our best to create a family atmosphere for the people that are in the organization. And Rory's been a part of our family for many years. Not many players have tenures with organizations as long as he has had with us. And the day I released him, it was not an easy thing to do. There were many tears around the office.
I got to meet him for the first time at E-League in 2016, the very first season of E-League. And from the get-go, he's got that inspiring presence where people they want to listen to him. They want to hear what he's saying. He brings everybody in that space together. He makes them better people.
We've just been through a lot of stuff together. We've traveled across the world together. So I think it's unfortunate that throughout his career, he's kind of been tasked with building a team for us. And I think he's done a fantastic job with every roster that he's had in front of him. I really hope he gets to keep playing and gets to find another team.
It's been such an honor and a privilege to compete in Counter-Strike alongside Rory.
Just doing a little intro to yourself. Okay. What's up, guys? I'm Shahzam Khan, also known as Shahzam, and I've just joined Complexity.
Shaz joined, much later in the picture than Rory. I think we've been together a couple years now, and just kind of watch him get to grow into a stronger leader for the team. It was nice to bring him in the middle of his career and just see how much he's grown since, the C9 days where he was playing and It was my honor to get to mentor him for a couple years as well.
He definitely won some huge rounds for us in some of our biggest successes, and it was so fun to watch him in those times.
Shaz, is so fun to have around. We've really enjoyed working with him and having him be a part of the team. And he's a really skilled player. I'm very confident he's going to land on his feet and do big things.
We're really thankful for everything that they put in for themselves, for the team, the organization, and we know they're going to do awesome in the future, but eternally thankful for their time and the effort here.
Christian, nice to meet you, man. Welcome.
What's up, cameraman?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Yeah, we'll have to give you the quick tour.
Yeah. We're really excited to have announced our latest changes. We're bringing in Config from Denmark and Poizon from Bulgaria.
We made some high-profile acquisitions, and we're really excited to have them in the team. We're excited for where they're going to be going. They're already putting in a ton of work.
Both players, I think, have incredible upsides. I think they're already very, very skilled. Hopefully under the system that we've put in place and the infrastructure that we have at our disposal, they're going to become superstars on the global scale.
Since our roster changes, we've now got Poizon and we've got Config. We think it's best for the rest of the year to go ahead and just drop out of all the tournaments, get in practice, get our work visas in place. Not to mention a lot of the tournament rulings didn't flat out allow us to.
We're going to boot camp in Europe for some weeks. For now, we're just working hard on making sure that we get a play style down and everyone feels comfortable with it. And then hopefully we can start playing a lot of officials after New Year.
So everybody went over to Europe to get some practice while we got our visas underway. And we're hoping to get the visas completed as quickly as possible while getting some really good practice. Poizon, Config, Blame, these are some big high profile names, and I cannot wait to see them play their first match. It's time to get some results.
I think we're going to have a really good team. I think it's going to be compelling and really fun to watch. I hope our fans are ready for a wild ride, because juggernaut or not, we're here to kick some ass.